and to our audience on KTN. Karibuni sana as you tune in around the country, the region and the world. We have conversations that matter and we're getting into another one this morning. And before we get into that, I have to remind you that we've come off the Easter season, but we're still saying, let's be in a celebratory mood, shall we? And how can you celebrate? Jaza Kikapu. Kikapu Kibonge CT. And what does that mean? We're going to stretch your basket just a little more. How are we going to do that? We'll do that with the hot deals that are available at Naivas while stocks last. You know how they say they're local? Look for your Naivas local and get that Kikapu Kibonge with the hot deals from Naivas. You can do that as you prepare to go back to school. That's happening next week. And you're coming off of the Easter period and families are together during celebrations. The children are still at home. So as you prepare to go back to school and get off that celebratory mode, you can get into the Naivas near you and you can shop and fill your basket with the hot deals that are available. Naivas is just making life just a little bit easier. It's the home of deals and it's here to help you. Happy families, real savings. And it's here to help you. Kijaze, Kikapu, Kibonge. Sawa sawa. All right. We're getting into a conversation this morning with politician Kimani Ngunjiri, and he's here in the hot seat, no stranger to the Situation Room, and we say good morning to you.
Morning, mommy.
How are you?
I'm very fine.
Good to have you here.
Even me, it's good to be here.
Mm-hmm.
It's raining outside.
It is raining.
I think God is good that we have come at the right time.
It is
because
true.
I know many people will be died by the rain.
It's true.
It's raining badly outside.
And it's dark, we can see that actually.
Yeah.
But karibu sana either way, and
Yes.
the rain will not stop us from talking about things that need to be spoken about.
Exactly.
And that's one of the things that we're going to do here this morning. We're going to be looking at tribal and divisive politics.
Yes.
It looks like we're already hurtling down that road and going so really quickly.
Yes.
And so CTs often argue that maybe it's not necessarily a bad thing to make choices based on tribe. But when we get to the part of it dividing people, that's probably where we have a problem. We'll open that conversation up just a little bit, but before we do that, CT, as you know, has a proverb, and we'd like to hear what your interpretation of that would be.
Yes, problem.
It's a problem. Kabisa.
Our proverbs for the whole of this week come from the Republic of Mozambique. When you next visit the cemetery, you cannot weep for everyone. When you visit the cemetery, you cannot weep for everyone.
Well, yeah, I agree with you. And there is a saying, although you have asked me the saying, but there's also a saying in Kikuyu say, Yanage yokayo, and you've got coming at home. Don't shout for all other goods. Shout just for
That good.
particular mother.
Actually, you've done well, because sometimes a proverb is best explained by another proverb
Yes.
that is local. It then the meaning then is driven home immediately.
Thank you. You know, I'm not very far from you. From the age.
Not very far.
Not very far.
Just close.
Just close. I'm saying you are right on a vehicle when I'm buying you.
Oh, okay.
Thanks.
Now that two
For a
of
lot
you
of wisdom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now that two of you understand each other.
Oh, yes.
We hear you, Ndu.
Yeah, we're just at the back seat.
Just to slide that under the table just a little bit, but okay. So it would appear as though August this year there could be an election. It could appear from how we see things happening around the country, from utterances that are made, from people going around the country already starting to say certain things. It would appear as though political silly season has already started, and that 2027 is not too long. Yesterday we were reminded that a day in politics is like 10 years, and anything can happen between now and then. And there are differences. But one thing that we see that is already very clear is that people might be divided, and that divisive politics is a game that is played by many a politician, and sometimes that divisive politics is based on tribal lines. And we wanted to look into some of the dangers of that, if that actually is the case. Bwana Ngunjiri,
Yes.
what's the problem with making choices based on where you're from?
Well, let me say this, that divisive politics, division politics, actually, as you are saying, it has already come. But for me, it is too late. It is too early. I mean, it's too early. Because now, I think we are halfway. Maybe 2.5 years, maybe about 2.5 years. And we have started very early, and it's going to divide, as you have said, Kenyans on the line of tribal lines in a very, very bad way. And this division comes just because of the leader who are in top. They are the ones who brings this division. But you see, the forest is one. The monkeys are many in the same forest. So the division must be there because that's how they benefit themselves. But I think the division which we are seeing is not healthy for our country. Because now we are all brothers and sisters and we are in one country. We need each other. And we are created by God. There's people from Nyanza, there's people from Central, there's people from Rift Valley, there's people from Mukambani, and Coast and other places. We got ourselves there. We did not take ourselves or make application to be born in those areas. So, but God had purpose that everybody where he has put him, he has his own things, he can benefit other tribes on the other side. Even what we grow in those areas, they are different. But it benefits all of us as Kenyans so that we can be able to divide and to share. But politicians being one of them, and I'm praying God not to play in that politics, and that's what I'm saying. I'm converted now politically from December, and in this station, this station, that's when I said I've left UDA. ODM or UDA. I think it was this table. Yeah. And it had a lot of discussion. And the reason I came to see the division is coming and it's not health. And it will not help us. And especially when I come from Rift Valley, where 2007 we suffered a lot. 2007 we suffered a lot. And it was just a stupid mistake, just of a politician. Just giving us division because they wanted to be there. You see, how I can say, I can look and say that the division now, I think, is coming more than before. Because I think before, even the time of colonialism, people were more together. But as we are going, we are getting divided in a very bad way.
What has changed?
What's the interest of politicians? And you see, like now, the politicians who are dividing people, I don't think they are more than 10. They are not. Who want the seat up of the president? And when people say, actually, you get some people on the ground, then they tell you, what's going on, Ngunjiri? No. Let's keep peace. Let's wait for election for 2027. Then some of them will ask you, who told you we are going to reach 2027? Then I ask myself, if you look at the constitution on the other side, the election is 2027. So you wonder what can happen here in between if we are not going to reach there. Then it will be chaos. Because every side must defend itself. The president and his group and the government, they will defend themselves. Then the others, they will put pressure on the other side. So what will happen, then it's very easy to get bloodshed.
Do you really believe that Kenyans would go against each other based on where they are from? Or is it a pride that they take? That will Kenyans say, I will fight myself as Luya, will fight a Kikuyu over who becomes our leader because they hate one another? Do you think that Kenya is at that point?
Well, it is not in that point, but it happened. 2007 it happened. So we cannot say that it cannot happen. It will happen. For now, it is in the leaders, in the class of high. But if it trickles down to the common Mwananchi, who is taking buza, who is careless on talking, who was a grudge of the other person because of his business, it will happen. Because now he will take that advantage, and also the thieves and thugs, they will take that advantage, and it will start to trickle from down. Top, they cannot fight. They will attack each other, they will abuse each other, they will bring a lot of propaganda to us. But when it goes down and trickle down to the people, down, it's so dangerous. That's what happened 2007. They were fighting on the possession of the seat. And the result of election, it differed. And when it differed, then they went down. They started inciting people And especially it started in the Rift Valley. And we had a lot of problem and people died for nothing.
Okay, Ngunjiri, as we have this discussion right now, there is a feeling out there that the people who are propagating tribalism in this country are the politicians.
Yes.
Because it is always a fight of, I have to be there and this power has to belong to me.
Yes.
You know, if we want to run for elections, I have to protect my turf. 30%, mulima lazima ichungwe. I need 30% that will come from the western part of the country. So as we sit here right now, you've been a big proponent of former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua, who has been pushing the agenda in Mount Kenya. And one would argue that you've been part of that bandwagon, or are you not?
Well, let me tell you this. Why is Jesus came and died because of that? So we can depend on our sin. Unless a fool who cannot change the situation which is there, even in this station room, you can change the topic and bring the topic you think they can build the country. And leave maybe you think it can incite people. People can change. We should not be plagued on that because we are human beings. And again, my age is not your age now. I'm old. I'm taking care of my wajuku. Or what I talk like now, they are in Mombasa, some of them, they are watching me. So what do I talk here to make them feel I'm the grandfather? Is to talk the truth and to tell them what they should do. I should not teach my children, my grandchildren, bad things. And that's where my age I've reached. Even the book of God saying, when I was young, I was doing like a young person. When I was old, I'm doing like an old person.
I left childish things.
Yeah, I left the childish things. So I'm lucky being one of the people now who have been converted that I don't want so abusive language in the politics. Let me give you an example.
Yes.
When Uhuru was vying in 2013, we had a lot of many things. We were incited to go and singing, si uchawi, abusing Leila, ni muchawi, ni nini, ni mugoroki. We did all those things.
Yes.
We did those things. Yeah? And we insulted somebody in a very bad way because of somebody who wanted to be in the
Top seat.
in the top seat. We finished that.
Can I interject and ask why? Because this has been one thing that has been long in contention. People were told that this person is of a certain way.
Yes.
And you were then able to go into it really quickly using the names which I can't pronounce that you've used to call a certain person and saying these things, but it would appear as though you believed them. Did you believe them, or you were just using them in that moment to fulfill a particular agenda? Did you really believe the things that you were saying that have essentially come and formed the basis for what a lot of people are riding on till today? Did you believe those things?
There's no issue of believing by that time when that mood of politics is there. There are two things which is missing in this country. Two things. Money and the tribalism. Two things. Even you look for the bishops, Christian, who are preaching. Let me tell you, first thing comes, not all churches, but mostly. First, money. Second, tribalism. Third, it is God. That's how we are living in this country. And it is the way around. Instead of putting God first, other things comes. Everybody likes money. Even that's why you're working here. Even that's myself. That's why I'm in this station. Because we need chapa. We have children and other things, but that would chapa to be fast. And you have seen it in the mini church. Even in many church, it's been divided by the money. Saying that there's no giving money in the church. Then later you're saying no. Bring on back door. Don't announce how much, and we shall be. I asked one of the pastors, and I don't want to mention him, and I'm very sorry about it. He's my good friend. Then I asked him, now, you see, the president said no giving money in the church, and you are close as a politician, we should not give the money. And I saw some churches being given money, and they were very happy. Do you know what he told me? And somebody who supposed to preach to me. He told me, but now it's not bad, because when he comes, we are given the money silently, so the church members don't know how much. It's only we elders Who know how much?
How much?
I asked myself, my God, this is the preacher who is supposed to preach to me, telling me that. And he told me, Ngunjiri, we are creating business. There's no business. There's no job.
What he was telling you,
Yeah?
that they have substituted the God they preach
Yes.
with money.
And that's what I'm saying.
Money has now become the God.
The God.
Yes.
Yes. And the tribalism has come again second.
Yes.
So God is coming that. I'm not saying all the churches, but you can see with your eyes in some areas. But let me tell you one thing.
Look at what even money does with the tribalism. When people want to be part and parcel of a government, it is not in pursuit of making the lives of the citizens better.
It's true.
It is money.
Money.
So money actually has become, and you put it very well, the center of our worship,
Yes.
the center of our focus,
Yes.
the center of everything we think and do.
Exactly.
At the end of it, you are doing the maths and saying, how much does one get at the end of this?
Yes.
Yes.
Let me put an example which is very good and correct, and it is there for now. Gachagua, the former deputy president, they differed with the president.
Yes.
And when they differed, I think it was very tricky for me, the way I'm seeing it now. It did not start in impeachment. No. But the president felt maybe this man is watching so many things and he thinks that now we are on the same level. But I'm the president, I appointed you. So what do I do this guy? I think where it started as elder, the way I assessed it, is that I'll trick this guy, then he'll put himself in the problem. He created Ndedinyoro. This is the money, this is the aircraft. Go everywhere, I'll prepare people for you. When you go, they say, oh, you can be deputy president, or the future coming deputy president. And he knew that Gachagua, from where he comes from, is a person of who loses temper because of that. He knew. I'm telling you how it started.
Okay.
Yeah? Then he lose temper. Then Ndedinyoro started going with the MPs from Central, where doing those things, money, giving churches, giving people with a lot of money, and we knew this is not the money of Ndedinyoro. But after the MPs went with the Ndedinyoro, coming back when they meet with the former deputy president, he will attack them. He will abuse them. And I think the system worked knowing he has already differed with many MPs from Central. Then the system knew, okay, this is the right time of impeachment because he will not have any support. Any support from the MP of that area. That's how it happened. Eh? Then Gachagua impeached himself.
Oh, you see so?
Yeah, without knowing there's a system was set for him to be impeached. If you can say, and we are here, all of us, and we are grown up, the system of removing Gachagua, it went. It is something was planned very fast. It was like a chorus in the church. Yeah? From the assembly, from the Senate, from judiciary. And it shocked many people of us because when MP started that, I didn't think that they would behave that way in the parliament. I said, no, but there is a chance of old people in the Senate. They will behave maturely. Oh, my friend, it was accelerating the gear. From there, I said, no problem. Judiciary. We trust the judiciary. And they will give us a good judgment. People have been trying to be told to be talked by lawyers. You are siding in one side, can you resign? Walikuwa kama kupe kwa ngozi. They refused. And you know, in any case, if I say, a judge, I don't trust you, and I saw you with so and so, and I think maybe you not give me a good judgment, they will step down straight away. It did not work. They refused until to finish their duty, which they wanted to finish. Right now, there are one thing I would like to tell you how you have asked me about how does people believe or how does he enter on that. Today, when Gachagua was impeached, he comes from Lima, Central. Two things happens. Now you can do research on that. How do the people enter in this? Two things happened. He was impeached. Today, Gachagua in Milima, he has two things.
What's that?
Driving him now very strong.
What are those?
Sympathy and tribalism. Two. how can you ask me, how does people enter in these things? And already, I'm giving you the answer. He had only two things. Sympathy vote. Yes. He comes from Lima. Then incitement came in. We are getting finished. The people of me. That's how the trap comes to the trickling down of politics
to the people.
So that's how it comes.
So does he still have strength today? And where does your loyalty lie? Because you, Ngunjiri, have been extremely supportive of Rigathi Gachagua while he was deputy president. And the question is, after his impeachment, where he still would get sympathy votes, he seems to still have some ground. Where is your loyalty?
You see, my loyalty, I'll be able to tell you, I have children, I have my grandchildren. When they are young and you are a mother, and when cooking the food of young children, you make sure that it's very soft food. But when they grow up, you can give them maize. They will grind the maize. I reached Gachagua, I reached him, he can grind the maize now. Because now, I also fighting for my own. And I also am seeing the difference because I'm a Kikuyu. But you see, I'm born in Rift Valley. I wish I came, I tried to look in the morning to get to come with the passbook of my mother. My mother was born in Gatondo, where it's written in 1950 something. He was going to see her parents because we are staying in the Rift Valley. And it was written with a red mark. I'll give myself for the history. Not overnight. Written with red by colonial government. Not overnight. I mean, you go,
You come back.
you come back. Don't sleep there. So, you see, these things, when you look at them, the way it trickles down, it is unfortunate. And I'm not saying just Milima. Even Raila Odinga is his people. He has put them together in one basket. He travels with them. He goes with them. And he bargains with them. That's how division has come. If you go to Kalonzo, he has his people. His Ukambani, his party has his own people. If you go in Nyanza, he has his own people. If you go to Eta, it's Bukusu, he has his own people. If you go to Natembe, he's saying, no, we must change now. Tawi, kabisa, we must change. This division thing, Mombasa, sisi ni watu wa pwani. These are the things which I'm seeing very dangerous for our country. And we must work very hard to see how we can be able to change. Look at me. I come from Rift Valley. My manager for 25 years on my farm, he was Odao. He's from Nyanza. But he was born in Banita. We had stayed with him. And his father was staying with my father. I stayed with him. The chairman of my CDF, by that time when I was there, is Collins Oduol. He was there doing that. The Twitter person on my office, it was a young boy called John from Lenini, from Nyanza. You see, I mix because my son is married in Kisi. My son. My the daughter of my sister-in-law is married in America by a Kisi. Now, recently I was in Kakamega, kupeleka mahara ya kijana moja anafanya biashara kwetu. We went Western and they were very happy. And when we met with the family, the wife is a Kalenjin.
So,
and the husband is a Luya.
So then Kenyans do not have a problem with each other. And that's what I'm trying to ask.
Yes.
That Kenyans will marry.
Yes.
Tribe to tribe. That Kenyans will be able to do business one to the other.
Yes.
That they will be able to live amongst themselves. Yes. So where does the issue of divisiveness come in, if not from politicians?
It's from politicians.
Yes and no. There is what we say publicly as Kenyans, and there's what we say when we're in the enclave of people who speak the same language as us.
Yes.
There's what we say about other communities in public,
Yes.
and there's what we say among the people who speak the language we speak and what we actually think. You see, now that is what tells you about the divisiveness that Mheshimiwa was talking about. And to understand it, it is historical, because at independence we did not have these problems.
No.
We did not have these problems, not at a little bit at all. They did not exist. So what the colonialists had done, he had tried very hard to ensure that these divisions came about. One, when he created chiefs. Okay? He broke down the systems that we had culturally, because we had leaders. And we knew how we selected our leaders, or how it was known, we knew. It was clear. That was done away with. Now, over time, you will trace these sharp divisions. And again, that's where the politicians come in.
Yes.
You started with Jomo Kenyatta, it was the Change the Constitution group.
Yes.
Do you know where most of them came from? Nakuru.
Yes.
How do I know? I grew up in Nakuru.
Kano office there.
Yes, I grew up in Nakuru. The politicians who were there, many of them, if you argue, they were actually even not tribalists. No. They used tribalism to get what they wanted.
Yes.
Because the very thing that Mheshimiwa has described, Nakuru was what you call a very delightful mixture of communities. Their first MP after independence was Chegoneko,
Yes.
Aluo.
Yes.
So it tells you.
Yes.
He was followed by somebody called Mark Muizaga, who had the infamy of being elected even when he was in jail.
In the prison.
Yes. So I am simply saying that it's like the history of this country is the history of rolling back the gains that we've made over time. Because every time, and this is the advantage now of age, I look at what we're dealing with, I'm saying, but there was a time we didn't have this. And this wasn't the problem. So where did it begin? You talk about 2008. The problem didn't begin in 2007. The problem began in 1992.
Yes.
Around the time of multipartism, we had waves of what was then called tribal clashes. And where was it? In the Rift Valley. And where was it? Communities that were not indigenous to that particular region and communities that border. I live in Muhoroni. That area of Muhoroni borders Kericho County and it borders Nandi County. Problems arose there. You go to Kuresoi, areas that are in Kericho County, and you look at the composition, you look at Molo, you look at the composition. The problems were there. And it was called tribal clashes. But the question I always asked, Mheshimiwa, these communities have been living together for very long.
Very long.
They intermarried.
Yes.
Your neighbor was your relative.
Yes.
Though they were a different community.
Yes.
So where were the clashes coming from?
Wanaulizana sukari, give me sugar. I
Yes.
don't have tea leaf. I don't have milk.
Yes.
That's the good life we had.
It was there.
It was there.
Yes.
And the reason you are saying is like I've left Gachagua. I've not left Gachagua, but you see, I'm born in Rift Valley. I've given my history, even my past of my mother, my late mother. I'll come with it one day. But now, do you know that Kikuyus who are in other areas, they are more Kikuyus than Central? You know that? They are more.
Kikuyus out of Central. You can call
Yes.
it the diaspora if you want.
Yes, diaspora, yes.
Yeah.
And you know, I've been reading in the Rift Valley the issue of Kikuyu in the diaspora and other people even in America. I brought 20 countries when the president was vying in Karen. So I must be very careful because like now my brother, what he's saying in Nakuru, that's where I was born. From morning, I cannot finish even one hour talking Kikuyu. I'll be talking many languages. I'm talking Kizungu, I'm talking Swahili. I know Kisi kidogo, I know Luo kidogo, I know Kisi kidogo.
Yeah.
That's how we stay there. And then when you tell me I do the politics or somebody from morning from 1 year talking with the same language, it becomes very difficult because
It's
I would
a
not like
melting
to
pot.
be caught on my statements making that I can incite people, I can talk bad language so that it can affect us. In the Rift Valley, I lost 14 of my distant family. I will not. That's why I'm saying it's not that I've left Gachagua. He is my friend. But let him do his politics. Because also there are some things I disagree with him.
I hear
when
you.
he says that this party, it is party for Milima. That's providing Kikuyus in one basket. And we might end on 41 against 1. And I would not like to be on that in that deal. And you see, for him, I've been telling him, he's my friend. Even now we talk. I tell him, why don't you go in Nyanza? Why don't you go in the Rift Valley? Why don't you go on the other areas?
Go where you're not known.
Yes,
essentially.
we go there and people are demanding you and they want actually to see you. In fact, if you are thrown the stones when you are there, it's better for you politically because it will be seen as a certain region doesn't want you.
Let's
But
say
when
we
you
have-
have been caned on your own area,
There's a problem.
there's a problem. The other point, ma'am, we need to look very seriously. I have it here. I saw it yesterday in Kisumu. I saw people fighting each other. They were fighting somebody. I don't know whether you saw it. Very badly. damaging the car, fitting like an animal. If we are not careful, and the same things are going in the churches, this country, we are going to burn. And I'm seeing people with a jerrycan or petrol on this hand, others work on a matchbox on the other side, and their intention is to burn this country. Let's diffuse. And we cannot agree that.
Politician Kimani Ngunjiri is our guest this hour, and we're looking at the danger of divisive politics on the back of tribalism. And I guess the question that we'll start to tackle when we come back from this break is, if we've seen the damage that it has caused in the past, why would we then tread the same path? And those are some of the things we'll look at when we come back after this break at 23 minutes to 8.
Everything. There's nothing have happened even here. Just a small thing. Kama the president was in Madare. Why did the people leave the meeting in Madare and go to people in Thika Road? Driving millers, women opening, harassing women who are just going back home after working hard time. You know, these things, and it is good we are talking about it. Let's think twice. And let's remember Pope when he was leaving us. The words he said. He said words of wisdom, and he died the time of the Jesus was, and he knew what he was saying, and he preached on Sunday. And Monday morning he went. Who cannot go? If even Pope, he went. We are all going one day. Let me ask you. Let me tell you what I'm trying to refuse. That's why you are saying me maybe. I'm neutral. I'm somewhere. I'm not supporting the government. I'm not supporting but I'm somewhere. The reason is the Kenyans today, even the ones who are listening us, they have two things which they are assessing with. If you abuse Ruto very much as a president, you abuse him, you are supporting Gachagua. That's what the public are assessing. If you don't abuse Ruto, you are with Ruto. That's the assessment of which they are doing wrong on that. We cannot be in the both sides. Neither you abuse, and if you don't abuse, you'll be given a name which side you are. Even people start talking, the same people. Oh, this guy has been given money. Oh, this man is OBCD. You buy a suit and say, oh, nowadays he's very smart. He was bought a suit. Those are rubbish things. We are talking about this country of ours. We need to be together. We need to be happy. All of us. Everybody has his own gift. Let me tell you, when we live here, I'm going to eat what God has given you in my plate. You are going to have yourself what God has given you. There are people eating githeri here outside in the morning. Just the other day, I went to see my friend. Wife was sick in Nairobi West. She is in the ICU. And I'm still praying for her. And he comes to my place. And I saw people lying in the bed. Lying in the bed, sick, in ICU. Then God came to my head and asked me, Ngunjiri, if these people asked by Jesus today, what do they want? What do you think they will say?
Life.
I said, no, God. They will say only one thing. Give me my life back. Give me my health. They will not say, I want to be MCA. I want to be MP. I want to be the president. They will not. They will say only one. Can you heal me?
Now, Ngunjiri, there's a question that Ndu asked you earlier, and you pretty much did not respond to it now. And these are the words that were used in 2013, the words that were used to label a certain side, the Mogorokis, the Mchawi and whatnot that were used during that time. And that is 2013. 2017, the same was used.
Yeah, it was used.
You were in support of that side. We come to 2022. Again, there's a narrative that was created towards that. When Gachagua was being impeached, you were in support of Gachagua because you felt as though he was being impeached not in the right way or for other reasons.
Yes.
But here we are today, you are saying we need to get out of these politics of tribalism and whatnot. Why would anyone who's listening to you right now say, trust you, because we're talking about over 10 years of you supporting this narrative? What was the eureka moment for Ngunjiri for you to say we need to turn around and do things right?
Do you know the word of God? Do you know God saves people?
I know.
I'm saying I'm saved by my God.
Okay.
Yes. You cannot stay in one focus of what you think. God can change you. And I'm saying I've changed now to preach peace. I don't want anything else. I want to preach peace and bring people together. You can be born there and maybe you not understand. You are just following people. And you say, as my brother Hapa said, you know, this narrative, it is not start now. And I'm very happy for what you said. It started a long time ago. And if you are born on it, so to come out, it's not easy. But when you come out, you'll be completely a different, completely person. Let me tell you, if you see a bishop, do you know before there was nobody was creating children? It's only God. Do you know that? It was only God. But we are given that power. We create children so that we can bring them on what we think is the best system to do. So if you see today, the things we are doing and people are not changing, then it says we need to do a lot of effort because there is a problem. People did not trust Jesus. And now we are preaching about Jesus. My friend, people might not believe me, but they'll remember one day when I was there, I said, this and this is not good.
Do you really believe that there is a risk within the people of Kenya to be swayed in a tribal manner again?
It is very easy. You remember, as my brother have said, that was 2013 for Raila Odinga. What we abused and we did all those things. We came now, the Uhuru Kenyatta, he became a president. I did not see the benefit of those abusive language and religioning people. I did not see it. But he enjoyed himself as a president. After that, Ruto comes, all telling us, this is a thief, this is a bad person, let's fight this person. And we did it. And after that, we asked him, by the way, Luos and other people supported you. Why are you telling us to fight them? No, we cannot do that for now. We are going to elect Ruto. And that's how we elected Ruto, refusing the teaching which Uhuru did for us. We refused.
Who is we?
But now when Ruto came back again now, he wanted us to abuse Gachagua. Or people want me to abuse the president. I'm out of that. I cannot abuse the president. I cannot abuse Gachagua, but I can correct anything they are doing wrong as an elder. I'm saying this thing is not good.
There's something I want to ask, because there's, as we look back into history, there are certain processes and procedures that have united people. During Mau Mau, people oathed. And as a result of that, you found even division then during Mau Mau of those who are referred to as home guards and those who are referred to as loyalists. Loyalists and those who were freedom fighters. The greatest casualty of the Mau Mau uprising were the Kikuyus.
Yes.
Not the colonialists.
Yes.
The greatest. There are those who argue that in the 60s, under Jomo Kenyatta, there was yet another thing. Reverend John Gattu, in his book Fanning the Flame, talks about the harrowing personal experience which even he and his family endured. This man was the first African Secretary General of the Presbyterian Church. Okay, long history. He had been a soldier. He had been a teacher. He had been many things before he became a man of the cloth. There are those who said that part of the problem was in that Jomo Kenyatta era, people were oathing. In recent times, during the Uhuru era, it was said, not that I have evidence to support it, but it was said. Now, when somebody becomes a Christian and a born-again Christian, essentially you've taken an oath. Because it's a commitment you have made, and you're saying, I am committing myself to this path, and this is what I'm going to follow, and I have pillars, I have structures which will guide me in the path that I should go to. When there is a generation where people have taken an oath, and the oath at independence was against the colonialists, the oath in the 60s was against Jaramogi and his people, how easy is it for someone to move away from that oath?
Let me tell you, that's a very good question you've asked me. And maybe you don't know, I'll explain to you. I took oath in 1969 when I was young with my father. We were put to the vehicle and we went to Katondo. And we did that. And you see, what I can be able maybe to advise you, there was no oath at the time of Kenyatta. Uhuru. No. That was Mungeke. which was very wrong, because there is no young people, according to the culture of Kikuyu, can do that. Slaughtering a
It has
goat.
to be done by elders.
Elders.
And specific elders.
Elders.
Yes.
And those in a certain stage. And, you know, the ones who does that, you see, there is elder people, young people, when they're giving those things of theirs, goat and everything. And the person who is the last who can do that is a person who can not go in the bed and do anything. It's called Matulanguru. Yani he is completely, he cannot do anything. They are the one to lead that thing. But at the time of Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, there was no oath. That oath was for young people. But I want to tell you, I was caught in that in 1969. I was a small boy. I was following my father. And my father told me, we are going to do ABCD, and we went. Let me tell you, even the bishops we have today,
Some of them
even if he is a Christian, but he was bound in the blood of his father and mother, you still have some element being seen. Even you, maybe when you look like that, somebody can come and say, you look like your mother, your nose, maybe you look like your father. You see, so you'll be able to see, even if you are Christian, there'll be some element of the blood you'll be coming, even when you are preaching. Kama wewe ni mtu wa hasira, na wewe ni mchungaji, baba yako alikuwa hasira, mama yako alikuwa hasira, hiyo ka element kidogo itakuwa ikionekana, even if you are Christian. Kidogo tu, even if you are Christian. So we must accept this thing. Sometimes you are caught in it, and sometimes you have to come out from those things.
But how does it influence? What does it do, the influence? Because the influence doesn't end with those people. It continues even after those people are long dead.
Yeah, exactly. Because now that was not the right thing being done. And it is trying to convert people from their brain and the other thing. It's just like the churches you have today. You know, they have some churches also, you are laughing at them. Fighting people, stepping on the people that they are chasing wanafukusha shaitani.
Yes.
So this thing,
mapepo
mbaya, we need to come together and think.
Who do you think are the perpetrators of this continued thinking of tribalism? I see a different Kenya, actually. I see people who, when they meet one to the other now, the question is not where you're from, but who you are. But that there are certain people who continue to perpetuate this thing for what it can do for them, and those are politicians. That you can still use this element of tribalism to divide people or to get people in your favor. To me, those are the people who use this in a negative manner for influence, because it is such a strong tool. Whether we want to admit it or not, it is a strong tool.
Yes,
it can be used. But those who insist on using it are not the majority of the population.
It is true. Mom, you can check and see that now Matiang came. Kissis are not singing anything. They're singing Matiang. Tribalism, the thing we are fighting with, is also coming in another door very strongly. I met one of them somewhere, just around here maybe. I told me now, he was the supporter of the Ruto. Sana. No, I've shifted now. Because you cannot be elected in Kisii if you are not with Matiang. You see now, he has gone on the tribal line for him to benefit, to be elected, which is very sad. But he has forgotten, before coming on looking, saying, unless I stay with the Matiang, was he eating? Was he feeding the children? Was he in this country? How did he survive before Matiang comes? You see, these are the things giving us problem now, dividing here. You can see now, if you check properly, I'm not sure, and I'm not an angel, but it's just thinking, if you see him now, Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, he has his own way passing now. Even if he's hiding his head, but you can see there is a road. If you check properly, Matiang is his people, Natembea is his people. You know, there's a way, maybe, I don't know, he's passing. There's a road somewhere, Kachochoro. This side, you see Gachagua, they were walking with Kalonzo. They were walking with this guy called the one who was putting Safuria in the head. What do you call Kioni? jizidi mpaka akaweka kichwa kwa.
But I think you're proving my point.
Yes,
look at the individuals that you mention.
Yes.
These individuals who, according to you, are using tribalism as a political tool are people who've been in the game for 30 years.
Exactly.
For 30 years, they've used the same tool to do the same thing.
Yes.
And I'm saying that Kenya looks a little bit different for me on the outlook. That the majority of the people, we keep shouting about it, 70% of Kenya's population is youthful. Well, that youthful population is not interested in this tribal garb. They're not.
They are not.
They are not. The people who continue to perpetuate it are in the minority because they realize that it is a powerful tool to use. But Kenya's face is not that of a tribal face anymore. So how do we still pay attention to a minority of people who are using a powerful tool to influence the majority of the population? Why?
It is to work with this station. It is to work the way we are talking, to try to enlighten our people. It is in this station. Do you know how many people you are talking with now as we are talking? They are listening. We need to preach to them as we are talking now for them to change. I want them to know Kioni was with Gachagua, was with Kalonzo. Are they going together now? They are not. Now Kioni have changed. Is hiding himself maybe on the side of Wood or something on the Jubilee party. Okay, Kalonzo used to go several times with the Gachagua.
Raila also.
And Raila also. Now there's a division because how do I get? I'm saying maybe on the side I cannot get. Me, I'll get this side. And let me tell you, Mamu, these people are cousins. These people are cousins. They go in the bedroom together, sharing things and doing things. And people are in the bedroom together. You cannot say what they have been doing there. But we know they were in the bedroom, sharing it together, eating it together. And if one of them makes the government, you call the others. As now Ruto has called the leader, come, my brother, come, now we sit together. You see, these people are cousins. And that's why to produce a good leader for us for future, it is not possible, because if you do the DNA, these people are cousins. They cannot produce something good for young people to be the leader of tomorrow. They only teach them throwing stones, fighting others, as I saw in Nyanza, fighting people in the church. They are teaching others for their own risk, Mami, as you are saying. And we need to preach this, Ma'am. And you are doing so good. Let's do these things. We shall have maybe, God will come through and we shall have quite a number of telling Kenyans, let's stay together, let's vote together, and let's stay together. Because like me, when I lost my seat, I was so bitter. Because things were not good. But later, I asked God, what can I learn this? And God let me know that I've saved you. Because now, everybody like you have no problem. Maybe even the government, na ile kielele, na hiyo mambo ningekuwa singeokoka, pengine ningekuwa kama Kimani Ichung'wah, tukana watu, fanya nini, jensi na tukanana, na ninaenda kwa mazishi na fukuzwa, jensi wataki kuniona. Was not that good for me losing that seat. It was good for me losing that seat. The other day I said, if I knew the people who voted me or stole my vote, I can slaughter them a goat. They saved me. Now I'm clean. I have no problem.
So what would be your advice as we close this down this morning? What would be your advice looking forward? There are decisions to be made. The campaign season is full throttle already.
Well, my advice, Ma'am, will be, just as you have advised us, as our mother, and our father is there.
Okay.
Kijana, my brother is there. We need to advise them. Don't go in that direction.
Yes.
Of the tribalism. We like each other. We intermarry. Yeah? When I was looking maybe for a wife, I asked God to give me a wife. I did not ask God to give me a Kikuyu. Whatever he gave me, I'm happy with. Was it Kikuyu or what? It's okay. Even us, when we are looking for a wife, hata wewe wakati ulikuwa nakatiana, ulikuwa nakatiana kabila yako, ulikuwa nakatiana upate bibia. So Kenyans, we are together. Let's stay together. Let's not do these bad things, bad manners. Why do you say there's no job and you are given a job and money to kill others and you are given money to fight others? And we have very important things, Ma'am, to talk.
Indeed.
Indeed, about this country of ours. See, like the young people, I've seen, I don't know, in Thika where, a boy killing a woman, and women have been killed. Why?
Unnecessarily.
And we have system and we have power to stop it. People are dying with accident. More than 4,000 now is going to be, this year is going to be more. We can talk about it. We can control about it. But I'm just saying in the car when I was coming, I was seeing matatu somewhere, the traffic are just collecting money. Yeah, just shamelessly going in the window. What does the traffic have interest with the window? Talking with the driver.
That's a very good question.
Yes,
actually.
where is he going there? I saw another one when I was coming from Nakuru. I saw a lorry and it is at night. It's carrying cows.
Yeah.
Na tuko na shida ya ng'ombe kuibiwa. Nikaenda nikaambia traffic.
Hizi zimetoka wapi?
Hivi kuna lori iko nyuma yangu. Nimebeba ng'ombe hata mataa nyuma.
Haziko.
Haina hata number plate haina. Hey, they're going to see me. Then nikaenda mbele kidogo nikajificha nikasimama.
Yeah.
The lorry did not take even 20 minutes.
And it was gone.
Ilikamuliwa na ikakuja ikapita.
Kimani Ngunjiri,
we are not honest to each other.
Thank you for being here this morning. Good insights for us to end on. Asante sana. Good morning. It's 2 minutes past 8.